I wrote my latest book, Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, to inspire everyone to dream big. And my next guest not only did that, but his story is a testimony to chapter 2, which I entitled Fear and Failure. This young man says that failure motivated him to become a millionaire and retire at just 28. Wow. Please welcome Brenton Hayden. Brenton, talk a little bit about your upbringing.
I grew up rough. It was tough. I had a blended family, 7 kids living at home, and we were poor. And I knew from a really young age that, 1, I wanted to retire early, and 2, I wanted more for myself, more for my family. But nobody around me seemed to be obtaining that on their own. And so I knew I needed to take action. It started when I was 17, when I needed to get my first apartment. I faked my ID just so I could get an apartment. I worked really any job I could get to pay the rent. One of those jobs, I worked as a grocery clerk in my local hometown grocery store. Well, that led to an opportunity where a big company, some of you have probably heard of it, Kellogg's, took a chance on a young man like me and gave me a chance to be a salesman for them, which I knocked out the park. Later, within my first year there, I was promoted to be a territory manager. By the time I was 19, I was making over 6 figures a year.
See, opportunities lie in your decisions. And they don't always have to be appearing to be the best decisions to anyone else except you. I falsified the paperwork so I could get an apartment. In that decision, he pulled himself away from the negative environment and took a chance. What was your first big failure?
Well, that was, being 19 and working at a big company like that as a manager, that doesn't help you make friends easy. There are people who have been there 15, 20 years, and now I'm their supervisor. That got me fired. And so here I am, 19, on top of the world, making 6 figures a year, really, really doing a great job, and now I'm broke. I'm thinking to myself, as fear setting in, what am I gonna do?
I try to tell people failure is a part of the process. You will not be successful without failing. But what happens is the fear paralyzes people. You get scared to go in another door. Well, look, the door closed. You can't go back in that one. So why stand there at that door? How'd you face this fear of yours?
I had the taste of success, and frankly, that fueled me. I wanted it back. I didn't want to be poor. I didn't want to be down and out. So I took 2 important steps that night. I decided that I needed to give myself an honest self-assessment and write myself a personal plan, and I did just so. The other thing I did is I just started to look at the want ads, and I followed the money. Everybody kept telling me I should be in real estate, and so I got a job in real estate for a whopping $30,000 a year. But you know what, I didn't mind. I knew this was a step down for me, but it gave me skills. It made me hungrier than ever to do my own thing and to be an entrepreneur. But then I failed again. I decided very quickly to go out on my own. I started my own real estate company. This was 2006. The real estate market just collapsed. And in order to survive, I found that many of my clients, well, they were participating in a scheme to defraud mortgage lenders. This not only tarnished the name of my company, it embarrassed me, and ultimately, frankly, out of embarrassment, I closed that business. Again, I failed.
So how did you turn it all around?
I rebranded my business, I rebranded me, I reinvented me, and I started a company called Renter's Warehouse. It wasn't long after, maybe my first year, I think it was, I was making $50,000 a month. By the time I was 25, I'd already made my first $1 million. Today, I own the 2nd largest professional landlord service in the United States of America. And at age 28, I've already retired.
See, look, in the book, Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, but the subtitle is the part I want you to get. It's discovering your gift and the way to life's riches. If you uncover the gift, there lies your best chance at success. You have to make a decision to win or lose. And it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter when you get it, the decision is yours. Okay. There's someone in the audience that you want to acknowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. My dad, he was a truck driver, and he stretched that salary pretty far, but it only goes so far. And I came to him with an idea, and I needed his help with it. And I asked him for $3,000. It was with his help that I started Renter's Warehouse. But in my plan, I mentioned earlier, part of my plan for me and for my family was to retire my dad. And I'm happy to say he's been retired now over a month.
Brenton's dad, Gary, is here. Gary, how you feel about what your son just said?
As a father, this has been unbelievable. In the face of adversity, fear, he didn't buckle to any of it. He had his goals in front of him, and he kept on moving forward. He's my role model.
Wow. But you know something, though, Gary? I bet it's really the other way around. Because, see, he saw an example of what hard work does. See, you gave him that.
Absolutely.
A work ethic. And then you gave all you had to him when he needed it most. So I really think, and he'll agree.
Absolutely.
You're his
I
hero.
tell him that all the time.
You're a heck of a guy, man. Brenton, thank you for sharing that story, man. Great. And Gary, thank you, man. I appreciate you, sir. What a great story. Folks, we'll be right back.